I am so close to putting the engine in the E36, but first, I gotta do the fuel system. So, now that the engine's out, I need to start getting prepared to putting the LS engine in. So, first thing I'm going to tackle here is the fuel system. I first started by ripping out all of the old fuel lines, but it kept all the brackets intact from where they came out because that was exactly where I'm going to run the new fuel line. The problem with this is actually getting it up and across the tank.
As you can see here, I actually removed where the old fuel line is and just replaced it where the dash 8 is. As you see here, this is the breather, this is the return, and this is my new fuel line. It went right back up where the old one was. The tricky thing here is actually getting it over the fuel tank to this side. But there are a couple of bolts. Let's try to get them here. That you unscrew. I wouldn't suggest dropping the entire fuel tank, but just a few inches, just so you can get the line across inside the car. So as the fuel line is run up, I eliminated the stock fuel filter and run this high flow one. That actually found a mounting point there as well. And this gets run up behind the engine to the fuel rails.
I'm running dash 8 fuel line all the way to the fuel rails until you hit the return, which I'm going to use the stock return. I got a kit where I was able to make lines and bends and put them all together, so that was able to work out pretty well. As far as fuel system goes, I got a Walbro 485 fuel pump, which is a little bit more powerful than the regular Walbro, and it's able to take E85. It's designed for E85, so more power, baby. More power, baby. Coupled with the Walbro 485 fuel pump and the dash 8 lines, I also got ID 1050 injectors. Now, this fuel system is probably going to be able to handle more than this engine is going to be able to, but eventually at some point I'm probably going to upgrade the internals in the engine to be able to handle more horsepower as well. But it's better to be safe than sorry as far as your fuel system goes. The last thing you want is to run lean and pop, blow up your shit.
Pop, go to Weezer. I got my own self hot telling that story. Pop, go to Weezer, cause the Weezer say pop. Yeah.
ID 1050 injectors run a lot more than your normal Deca 80s or other 80-pound injectors. They're probably closer to 110-pound injectors. So especially once I start adding E85, it's still going to be able to handle different types of fuel as I change things up. The Walbro 485 is not a direct drop-in. I did have to modify my fuel pump assembly a little bit. So I ended up cutting a slice off the bottom of it to allow the Walbro 485 to slip underneath the basket holder in the fuel pump. The old one actually dropped in. Once I did that, I took a giant hose clamp and was able to actually hose clamp it in place, and actually held up really well. As you can see from the photo here, it looks like it was supposed to be there. So just take a little hacksaw and go to work on it. Once all that assembly was done, I was able to put it back in, and everything just plugged in how it was supposed to go. Eventually down the road, they do sell a kit to run an additional fuel pump on the driver's side if I need to do that as well, but we're gonna see how it goes with the Walbro 485 fuel pump at first. After carefully soldering the new wires in, I was able to put everything back together. Now it does come with a plug, so you can actually use the plug that it comes with to unplug the fuel pump if you have to, so it will make it easy to take in and take out down the road. Also, before I dropped the LS in, I also made sure I had all of my heater hoses run to the side of the engine compartment before dropping it in. Once it's in, it's very difficult to get access to, so all of those were clamped down nice and tight prior to the engine being swapped in there. So make sure you do that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Don't forget to give it a like and subscribe if you want to stay up to date on all of my updates for my E36 LS Turbo Swap build. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.